Hello LEGO Worlds fans, and welcome to a brand new Let's Play with me, Bear Parker, the community manager for LEGO Worlds, and Chris Rose.
Hello.
How you doing, Chris?
I'm alright, thanks.
We've just updated LEGO Worlds with a whole host of fun new things, haven't we?
We have indeed, yeah. We've released what we call Title Update 3. So we've added loads of new content to the game. Obviously we've got lots of little sort of new mechanics stuff going in there as well for some of the Monsters DLC that went in there. In fact, my custom character, he's actually using the head of one of the the characters, Mr. Good and Evil. So he's got the sort of half and half face. So we've added quite a few of these features in. Actually, we're in a pretty good spot for the first one. So we've had a lot of players sort of say to us they'd like more control over the time of day. So if I go into my inventory and go right to the top, we added a new special item to the top row, just above the dotted line, called the Sky Spinner. So when we pull this and we tap, hold B, you'll see that the time of day changes. So I can go from night time and I can skip time right through to the middle of the day, like that. And then we've got a nice bright time.
Super cool. So that was directly influenced by some community feedback as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, people have been saying, hey, can we just have a bit more control over the time of day? And you know, it's something that we've always had as a debug option, so that we could always sort of do our own tests. And it does make sense. You know, people do want the ability to sort of see more things in nighttime or daytime. So when they're sort of building certain things that are quite specific, particularly when people are sort of building their own sort of like monsters or spooky stuff, they wanted to see it in nighttime without having to wait. They can just sort of cycle through that now.
Especially handy if you're remotely scared of the dark.
Yeah, there is also gameplay elements that happen at night, such as like sort of hostile mobs will appear at night, so you can sort of skip through those. So you're just sort of left on your own. And then cycling through some other changes we made. So the landscape tool is obviously something that we've had since day one. We've always had the ability to add certain shapes, certain sizes. But one thing you can do, you notice now that I've just rotated on a slightly different axis. So whereas before we were very much 90-degree turn, we've got 90 degrees or 45-degree turns. Now you can sort of rotate a lot more. What it doesn't do is break the sort of the grid effectively. So everything's built as if the world is a giant Lego base plate. So as you can see, it's actually using lots of sort of smaller bricks there to sort of make this angled shape. Whereas if I move back to the sort of standard shape, one more less, you can see it's using slightly longer, straighter tiles. And if I just twist to the side, you can see it's breaking it down into smaller chunks. So you actually get a bit more control over the shape of something you make, with regards to what you can make, what you can't make in the game.
Yeah, for me this is like dramatically improved my build time.
Yeah, hugely. So you can sort of obviously still increase and change that. But also as well, we've added different shape types. So we've always had like the ball, the big square. Then we've added these like angles as well. So I can imagine people making sort of like skate ramps and stuff with this would be quite cool.
I actually did that the other day.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I did.
How'd it go?
Really well.
Good.
Yeah, my skateboarding skills not so much.
No.
But yeah.
But there's also like different angles of those shapes as well. So we've tried to make it, useful effectively, so that you can sort of cycle through and sort of just change the shape as you go on. So you can see I've got loads of different shapes there. If I just keep cycling through, we've got this nice arc. It's like nice ramps and stuff. So that if you sort of build something and you want to have like a smoother shape on the side, this is something I tend to struggle with when I'm sort of using not just brick by brick in game, but even when I'm building with actual Lego. I always find making rounded stuff quite difficult. So we've sort of added this sort of rounded shape, so you can sort of build like natural looking roofs effectively with this.
Yeah, I used this one for a canopy. I was building a football stadium, a soccer stadium, last week, and these new shapes in the landscape tool were like massively useful for the canopy at the top and some of the smaller details in the corners and everything.
Yeah, so we've got these like tubes. So if I use the delete tool, we have a sort of tunnel. So you can sort of rapid tunneling as well, which is pretty cool. So you can get quite creative with this now, even more so than you used to before. And then we've got these like hoops as well. So I can start adding in. You didn't have to do what I just did. I could just add in a tunnel. Obviously, I've just slightly ruined it with the shape I've just drawn, but I think that's almost like a candy cane shape going on there.
But you can make like a wicked kind of maze maybe now with.
There's things like that you can do. But also, obviously, these things work underground as well, which is really important. So there's all sorts of just loads more shapes. Just sort of cycling through them more quickly now. That's quite a nice one.
I've used this a few times because I'll build with like the conventional cube, and then I'll use this to carve out a tunnel shape.
Yeah. So it just gives you a lot more options as well. So you can build underground, underwater. So one of the things that people sort of said, hey, can you make these tools function a bit simpler, so you can actually start using them under the water. So once we get sort of deep enough, yeah, sure, you can start adding them in. This is quite shallow, this section here, so it's not going to look too great, but there we go, it's starting to get a bit deeper down there. So you can start adding sort of terrain under the water, and the deeper you go, obviously, the more sort of visual. There you go, so you can see it now.
Speaking of water, we've added water as a proper landscape option as well now, I believe. Before it was just the one type, and now there's 3 types of water that you can use to put in your world.
Yeah, we had 2 originally, which was like a river water and like a sea water. The sea water never really behaved very well. It still doesn't have like sort of full superflow physics or anything like that, but if you go into the sort of water features, you can see that we have got a couple more going. So deep ocean is the newer one effectively. It does behave a little bit better when you sort of start to try and use it. It doesn't sort of flood out, but what it doesn't do is, if you're building like moats or something around a castle, it doesn't sort of spill over and sort of ruin that attempt. Because also as well, water there was really difficult once upon a time to get rid of. We now made that much easier. Placed water can be rid of effectively quite quickly as well. So that's quite important that we can add to it. And also, then of course you go actually into the water now and get rid of it as well. So things like that are quite handy.
Amazing.
Yeah, so we'll stick with the tools. We'll go to the copy tool. So again, the original copy tool was, because we made an early access and we were built around our PC game, the copy tool kind of behaved like it needed a mouse and a keyboard. It didn't really work too great with regards to thinking about the controller aspect. So you could go that way and you can go up and down like that, but one thing we've done now is you can basically hold A and it will just rapidly expand around it, and then you can release and tap, and then you're back into the mode again. We've made this a lot simpler as well, so you can just hold X and drag the box out around, so anything that was caught in the initial capture, you can see you still got the ability to go in. If I go to sort of press back on the controller there, I can now go in and start deselecting individual bricks like normal. So you can clean up anything that maybe you've captured by mistake. So this thing over this side over here, I'm just not going to want any of that, so I can just start rapidly getting rid of all of it. But then if I go back into the box tool, I can now just really quickly get rid of it again. So we've made that a lot cleaner.
Oh, that's a massive difference.
Yeah, it's so much quicker to use now. So like I can start trying to get rid of most of these crates and stuff a lot quicker as well. I'm not going to be able to get all of it because of the shape and the sort of angle of that, but a good chunk of that is now out of the way, and I can just go and just clean this up myself now. So them sort of things do make quite the difference, and it's a lot more controller friendly. Again, height and shape still are there, but holding A just blows it out much quicker, especially useful if you're making really big things as well on the controllers. It's quite a big size, so it's not like it's
gargantuan.
Yeah, you can make really big stuff with it, so that's really cool. So that's something we're pretty happy that we finally managed to sort of get that right, and in a way that people can use it. And obviously on mouse and keyboard people still have the original function, so it's not like we've undone that. So let's go, I'm going to use the sky spinner again and get us back to daytime, just because I want to show you something that
scared of the dark.
Yeah, a little bit. We'll show you the monsters town where everything's dark a bit later on, but we'll just go to daytime because I think this is really something that you can see a bit better in daytime. So another change we've made quite a bit of change to the build tool. So first things first, the ability to tap flick still there, up and down in any direction you want, still there for you. It will still sort of logically go to the next location you would suspect you're going to want to be there
for precision building.
So that's pretty cool, and obviously you've still got the brick types, all the small shapes and that. But what we have added, which probably is something we've always been asking for, and the executive producer Loz has been after this for a long time, probably since the day I started working on this game, to be honest. He wants what we call the wall building. So basically you just hold A, drag, and you can go up, and boom, wall. So infinitely quicker.
What a wonderful wall.
Yeah, and then you can obviously just, as before, go in, clear out the gap where you want to maybe put a door down, windows, things like that. So we've made that much quicker to be able to do that with, so which is much better as well, and just giving a little bit of extra precision to some of these tools that really did need it.
Yeah, because like conventionally that would have taken a few minutes to put together, wouldn't it? And
it would do, or if it's something you've done a few of, you would be able to use like the copy tool to sort of quickly copy paste and stuff. So we're just giving lots more different options for that. Whoops, undo works again much better. So we're looking at doing a few more changes to the undo tool as well. So if I just go like that, so you can see now I've got a nice little doorway. I could save that wall and make my own houses later. But speaking of house making. So this is something we were showing off behind closed doors at Gamescom and we didn't have anywhere near as many sort of features for this yet, and it was really rough and a bit buggy when we showed it, is the planner tool. So the planner tool is a very, very quick, rapid-fire way of building houses. This is awesome. This is perfect for me, because I am not a very good builder. I lack the imagination when it comes to sort of trying to do these things. I see we go to like some of these live brick events and we see like kids making these awesome things. I'm just like, why can't I do this? Like, I do this all the time. Why can't I do this? So you can go around, choose your types of stuff. Let's look for the door one. Where's the door? There's the door.
There's the door.
Put that in there. 2 doors. And you can see now it's complete. This circuit's complete. It says X hold for building structure, and you see it's glowing green to sort of indicate like a like an electrical circuit. The circuit's complete. Hold X, and it just builds the house with floors.
Look at that!
Then you can just start painting the interior. The roof's in there, and you can start making some really interesting shapes with it as well. So if I go back into that, let's change to a different style. Let's go to Japanese house, for example. Let's go quite high up. So this is going to do quite a bit of damage to the surrounding area, because I'm going to go quite high up. But you get the idea of it. So if I just start making really intricate shapes like this, let's switch it up to another wall. Let's go to the big large wall here, and we go this way and this way. So you can see it's sort of got some really unique shapes going on now, where I've sort of gone in and out. It does calculate for that, and it'll just angle the walls and the ceiling to give that.
That roof is amazing.
Also the floor as well. It actually detects what floor it should be using as well. So we've got like a nice sort of Japanese house style floor. It does raise the props up. You can get rid of those with the tools later on. You can just smash them as normal. What is really nice about this as well is there is multi-floor available as well. So if you want to build like a skyscraper type build. So let's go back into brick house. So just brick house kit. So let's just go across here, and we'll do another one high up in the air, and I'm just going to rapidly go this way, this way, this way. Looks like this. And let's make sure I've got a door in so I can get out later. I always do that. And that's nice. So let's go there again. Like so. Whoops, too big. Let's get rid of that one. I want the smaller one. Where is the smaller one? There it is. But what we can also then go is to the stair options. So I'll go to let's stick to this one because I know it. And let's just move that around so that when I'm in there it will work. And that logically knows I want a second floor, so it just goes and builds the second floor of the building for me.
That is amazing.
So, and you can just keep stacking that basically until it sort of either hits memory limits or until it's just you're full and you can't go any higher. So you look how quickly I've just done that. I've done 3 pretty quick houses, various styles, with unique intricate shapes. So I've done one over there, the one I'm standing on now, the Japanese style house, and this brick house over here. So I've gone from, that is the original Lego Worlds concept of just brick by brick building, and then I've got the really quick build a wall, and we've evolved even more so in the same update to build entire houses. So I think there's something definitely to be said there about these lots of options for the various degree of skill of players as well.
Yeah.
So house builder for me, wall builder for me, or some sort of intermediates. But then for players like yourself who make amazing things, you've got still a build tool as well.
Yeah, and you've got the combination of it as well. So say you've built your little primitive house here with the funky roof and everything, but you can still you can paint it to make it look however you like, and then add extra elements as well from the discoveries you found.
Yeah, these things, the bricks all behave exactly the same. So I can start painting over the top of it, giving it any colour I want to. I can go in and start using the discovery tool to prop it out, put bathtubs and stuff in there, and just hang out in the bathtub all day. And things like that. So it just gives you a way of building very, very quick town cities and sort of making them your own, which is exactly what we want people to be doing as well. So
community challenge then. Go build a town, folks.
I
want to see what you're capable of.
So this is the next thing. We've made a big change to the UI again, particularly the discovery system. So we've kind of bundled everything back together onto the sides here, which we felt was kind of necessary. Because what we were finding was that you got to look at this discovery list. It's massive now. This has grown so much since day one. I think we had like 300 or 400 items total. I think we're up to well over 2,000 now. So you can still going, and we're down to these bottom ones here, these Ninjago Samurai X ones. So it's a bit mental. So what we've decided is actually we really needed to establish a category system. So with the characters, the vehicles, and the brick builds as well. So we've done that. by not only introducing this new system here, so these like some real test ones that we're working on as well. So these are the fragments, loads and loads of different stuff. So what we've also done is, whereas we've made this a lot cleaner on the sides, so that everything's just under one very simple solution, we've also then, if you go across to the right bumper, you get these tubs. So they're the classic Lego sort of build bucket tubs. And you can see we've sort of stylised them to be relevant to certain themes. If you go into the brick builds, you can see we've got the showcase models, the DLCs, Space and Monsters, and then just some general MISC stuff. You open it up and it just narrows it down for you, so that you're able to, you know, find stuff very quickly. So if you're building something very specific, you can find that very specifically. So I want something that I think is going to work in the modular builds. So hey, I've got these castles from the Nexonite castle and this castle. Quickly find those and carry on. If I want to just have castles, or in this case houses, you know, we're on the subject of houses, I can see I've got these houses here as well. When you make your own creations, you get your own bucket for those. You know, there's just so many more things you can do.
And that's not as far as we've gone either, is it? Because we've also added the option to search.
Yes, so you can start typing things in. So if you were to just use the keyboard in front of you there for me and just type in castle, for example, you can see it just quickly goes through and it's like, okay, these are the castles that match that flag in the text thing. So we've got and what's nice is it groups everything. So these are props. I've ruined it. I went too far. So what it does is it really does groups of props. If you can just type that again for me. I got a bit too overeager. So you can see we've got Castle Straight, the prop here, so these sandcastle props. These are brick builds. This is technically a vehicle, the castle cannon. So you know, there's lots and lots of, it really bundles everything together. And if we were to go and say try to think of a creature that might share a name with one of these things, just say dragon, just for sake of argument. You'll see the baby dragons, the dragon eggs, the dragon wizard. So you can see characters, creatures, props. And that's an Alexa. That's a prop actually. So you know you've got things like that. So if they're all named the same, so if I was to make a building called Dragon's Keep, that would just appear in here. So you know it's a really quick way of sort of establishing what is and what isn't what you want it to do. And we think that's really cool. We think that's really important.
It's definitely a big time saver. I've been using it a lot.
Huge time saver.
As you know, I'm always busy making other videos and builds, and it's been a massive time saver.
Well, yeah, videos is another thing. We do actually watch a lot of videos. I mean, when we were in early access, I used to sit in the Steam stream system quite a lot and just watch players building stuff, and I'd sort of talk to them from time to time in the comment systems they had. But people were always making really cool videos, and people were always making cool videos. So what we wanted to do, we kind of wanted to help them a little bit. So we added in fact, where is it? Oh yeah, there it is. So I was going to say we could type it in, but I've just found it, so let's not waste any more time. So we added this camera car, and basically it's literally what you think it is. So you can hop in the back, and you can sort of rotate a camera around. You can crane up, so you just give yourself a nice wide perspective. You can zoom it, and let's go to the use camera mode, and you'll see this little timer goes down. So that means you're in camera mode. Now, this relies on device capture more than anything else.
But thankfully, almost all consoles now have that built in, and obviously PC, your options are kind of infinite.
Yeah, you've got so many options on PC what you can do. So you can sort of capture some really nice shots as well. And if you're playing in multiplayer mode, obviously, someone can then run in front of your camera option, and you can sort of be in that focus.
Should we give that a test? I've got an extra controller.
Yeah, go on then. So hop on.
Why not? So it's that button.
There so if I'd start recording, you would effectively come across, and you can hop in the front, and you can effectively drive it like a live action sequence.
Dun, dun, dun.
Now I can control the camera.
Look at us go.
I can zoom it in.
Ah!
Make it really awkward for you to drive. I can zoom it out. You know,
I'm not a very good driver.
I can see someone try and make really cool versions of gameplay with this. Like, you've got to drive, but you've got to be in mass zoom, complete zoom. Whoa!
Hey!
So you know, I can move the camera whilst you're still driving. Also as well, like you can hop out. So I've just jumped out of the vehicle, and that's me now. And I'm going to hop on my bike, and I'm just going to start riding away.
I'll try.
And you can try and chase me, and you know, so now you can imagine full Lego City action sets effectively as well. So you know, there's something to that as well. And all you got to do is a simple button press, and you close the camera down. So we think people are going to use that really well, and make their own sort of funky styles. And you know, there's lots of like sort of machinima style videos that people can make. That we think would be really cool.
Yeah, if you combine that with the fact you can now build towns super quickly, aka sets, we should be seeing some pretty wicked creations from you lot.
Yeah, absolutely. So we love some of the videos that are out there. Some of them are really, really good. So we there's lots of that sort of stuff, and there's some really cool vehicles out there to do that sort of thing with. But also, you can do like really cool, like I'm going to make a gardening program. I'm going to get my lawnmower out and just do some lawn mowing and mowing the lawns with that. You can make epic sort of dragon sequences, or you can just show us building a house. Effectively, if you angle it right, you could effectively try and work that system a bit as well. So that's kind of cool.
I saw one of our younger users actually is in the middle of building a metropolis, a giant city, and he gave us a mini tour of that using the camera car, and it was just tremendous. It was just great seeing that level of creativity, but that kind of passion as well. Just he'd done a great job and was mega keen to share it with us, and we loved seeing it as well.
Yeah, some of these videos are amazing. So even from day one, we've had some pretty cool videos. One thing I will add that we've had a lot of requests for, that we've never really sort of followed up on, is the ability to delete custom characters. So it sounds really basic, but it's one of those things that actually wasn't as simple as you would initially think when it comes to sort of like the way the Lego world is built around, very different to our other games. But yeah, you can delete custom characters now, so that's a nice little note for the TU3 or Title Update 3 notes there. So that's probably it for the Title Update 3 features. We are going to record another video very soon.
Yep.
And that's going to be for the Monsters DLC pack.
It is indeed.
Yeah, so let's hop into that.
Yeah.